Listening to Insurance Matchmaking, your path to health, life, and Medicare coverage with Matt Libby Insurance. And now, sharing his knowledge, here's your host, Matt Libby.
All right, good morning. Welcome back to Insurance Matchmaking. Guess what, folks? You don't have to listen just to me today. I do have a guest. I have Chadwick Mathis with the Small Business Development Center with us. That's works with the Upper Cumberland Development District and all that. And I'll let him explain that a little bit more. I kind of went over because I know it's like, because it's all of the alliances there, it's like, okay, what is your job? But so go ahead and you're, yes, his card says Small Business Specialist. I love that. You know, hopefully I have a lot of small business listeners. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about what you do, Chad.
Sure. Good morning. Thanks for having me on here, first of all. We really appreciate that. A little bit about me, my background. I was a business owner when I was younger. I owned a flooring business in Florida for a while. I started with Small Business Development Center in June, and the beginning of June, and so I'm hit the ground running, honestly.
Okay.
So they gave me the title Small Business Specialist, and I have been running with it.
So it works, right?
Yeah. We're basically under TTU and the Upper Cumberland, TTU, Tennessee Tech University, and the Upper Cumberland Development District are a wonderful resource. We work under them as well. Our lead center is actually in Murfreesboro for the Small Business Development Center. It's MTSU over there, Middle Tennessee State University. We do a lot of things. We help small businesses. We help grow, sustain, and start up businesses.
Well, you bring that up. It's like I met Chadwick about a month ago, I guess, was a seminar at the Leslie Town Center. Mm-hmm. Actually, conference room of the chamber, which I didn't even know that room was there. I knew there was big meeting rooms, but it was just kind of a financial, hey, these are financial forms you probably need to be doing as a small business to make sure you're getting the right reports to your accountant, or if you're doing your own taxes and some of those things, some of those tools. So that was one of the things, and that was very helpful. I guess, I mean, you do other classes like that, but is there kind of like a cycle of, okay, well, we did this one 3 months ago, we probably should do that one again because you get other people who weren't able to attend the other one?
We do those, I believe, every few months. For the one that you went to is a Find Your Funding training, and we normally do those at the chamber there at Leslie Town Center, and we work for all Upper Cumberland counties. So we have 14 counties. We are now, since I'm, kind of starting out, we're looking to go to every chamber and do some sort of training at each chamber. And we're going to try and specialize it to that area. So what the small business owners want is what we're going to try and provide for them at the chamber. So if they want funding, we can help them with that. If they're wanting assistance with financials, QuickBooks, anything like that, we're going to try and help them do that as well.
Okay. So. And I know, and you also work kind of with the partner with the Biz Foundry, is that correct?
We do. The Biz Foundry is an amazing resource in Cookeville here. They have an office in McMinnville as well, I believe. This is their main office over here. Jeff and Tiffany are over there, and we work very closely with them. Normally, when people are starting up businesses, we can refer them over to the Biz Foundry. They have a business startup boot camp over there. You'll have to look up online all the information about that. I don't have all of that, but they're a great resource as well. They help us a lot. So
now, do you work at all with the Cumberland Business Incubator there at Roan State? Do you partner with them at all, or is that kind of just because it's two different colleges and you work with tech?
We had an economic development summit at Tennessee Tech about a month ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, and I did meet two of the leaders over there at Roan State. And I haven't personally worked with them yet, but we're willing.
Yeah, well, it seems like that they're kind of similar setups. They do a lot of what we do, and like I said, and it may be too because they're part of Roane State, which is actually based in East Tennessee.
Yes.
So it may be kind of one of that overlap of we do have it is the Cumberland campus. It is in Crossville, and the reason I bring that up, I do my Medicare 101 workshops. I do here at the library. That's one of the facilities that I use. In fact, I just did one last week for those that are turning 65 and trying to figure out what the heck they're going to do with Medicare. So it comes handy, and it's actually interesting. I use YouTube podcasts a lot to when I go out on a walk, and I'll listen to things, and I actually learned something today about a lot of times I've kind of avoided people who have federal employee insurance, and there's actually some of what I have to offer can go alongside that and not interfere with it. So I thought, it's like, I maybe been turning some business away and didn't know it. So those partnerships really come in handy.
With the SBDC, we have departments, I think 14 different SBDC centers across Tennessee.
Okay.
So we help each other out. My background is in marketing a lot as well. My most recent employer, I was a regional trainer for a marketing company. And so I'm in marketing. My boss, the director over here at the Cookeville campus, Kelly Sullivan, she's been in banking for 14 years, I think. And so she's the one that helps with the loans and packaging the loans for small businesses. She's really great at that. I help a lot with the marketing. I help with the loans as well.
Right.
She's more of a guru, so we kind of leave that.
Well, Kelly was my banker until she tune in next week. You'll find out somehow what Kelly has moved on and has been a couple transitions since she was my banker. But I'm still with the bank with Plug Builtwell Bank. I really enjoy them. You get that small town bank feel, but they're not just a small bank. They're actually a regional bank. We have several branches around here, so they used to be a little more convenient because I would go by the bank on my way home from my office. Now I've flipped over to the other side of town. I have to make a special trip if I need to do something at the bank.
I have a credit union, and it's out of town, so I know how that goes. I have to do most of it online, but Kelly Sullivan owns All Good Nutrition as well in All Good Tennessee over there, so I thought I'd mention that as well.
Right.
She's a small business owner.
Right. She'll be plugging that next week. And she probably has on here too. And she does a lot with that, with the supporting the teachers and stuff. And so that's some things that, I enjoy that. I still have a hard time getting used to the fact of it's August and we've been back to school for a bit now. I grew up, and actually I think where I grew up, they still wait till after Labor Day. So that was the way it was when I was going to school. And so it's hard for me to think back to school, at the end, start thinking back to school at the end of July. It's like summer's just kind of getting going.
Well, with the weather lately, it seems like it's fall already.
Yeah, well, I've got a notice on the phone weather app on my phone is like, but it's warming up again, and we're actually going to go camping this weekend. Not on the weekend because it's impossible to get a camping spot on the weekend, but we're going to go Sunday and kind of take a break the first couple days of the week and go down to Rock Island and do a little camping there. So, and it's close enough that if something I really need to get back to my office, I can do that too.
No, very nice. That's one place I haven't been around here, Rock Island, and I
haven't been there yet either.
I've been told I need to go. That's one of the places to go. But since I moved up from Florida 10 years ago, I've been quite a few places around the area, so I do love it here.
But I haven't made it to Burgess Falls either. My wife had knee replacement this last year, and so that's one of those that you can't just drive up and check out the falls there. But you have to hike a little bit to get to the falls. So it's like that's one we hadn't got to yet, and so we may be able to do that here soon. Fall Creek Falls is a nice one. I don't know if you've been there or not, but
I've not been there either. But I do believe they're trying to make a lot of the trails and a lot of the scenic areas in Tennessee accessible.
Right.
So
I
think that's on a list that they're trying to get by a certain time frame to get them
it's tough. Some of them are really really rough places. I say rough, kind of rugged. That terrain's rugged is like it would take. It's going to take some effort to make a trail, safe, and easy for everyone. Fall Creek Falls is nice because you can pull right up the overlook and check it out. So it's a nice falls. A lot of times people will publish pictures there after a heavy rain because it definitely changes the flow there. Actually, if somebody did one, I don't know if it was this winter. There's one that's a really neat picture of it because it's like it had snowed, so everything was kind of cold, and it was icy, and then snowing too. It's just really beautiful.
I've probably seen that one.
Yeah.
I follow, I think, every one of the falls around here on social media. So
Okay, yeah.
I like to see the fall foliage, and I like all of that. I like hiking. And,
Right.
And
So you mentioned your previous employer. You were in marketing. I know you said you had your own business in Florida, the flooring business, which had some issues there. And it's like,
Definitely.
so they got into marketing. So, and I guess that's what prepared you for the position that you have now, the marketing, probably more than some of the other things. And again, it takes all those different things you've done to kind of prepare you for what you do.
Absolutely. I think my background did lead me into a consulting position like this.
Yeah.
Because it took a long time to, I had the business for 10 years. Housing market came along, and
Right.
crashed
Yeah.
in 2007. So I went elsewhere. And the marketing, now with the small businesses, we have an intern program that we have tech students. Jody Pitts is over that, and they help with the marketing, and then I can also help with it as well. They can build websites, and social media marketing is a really major advertising place to go now. So with the interns, they can do brandings, logos, build websites, and show you how to work the social media marketing side. So and we oversee obviously the interns and all of that when they're working with our businesses that we
now
work with.
those are. Is there a cost to that, or how does that transpire? If somebody's wanting help like that for their business.
So they just have to register with the tsbdc.org website. Just register and then have a consultation with us. It's an initial session. It's normally a Zoom, and it's 30 minutes, and that's technically all they have to do. And then it's a no cost to them. We will have to get some paperwork filled out for the intern program, but it's the SBA kind of helps with funding, and we get grants and things like that allow us to do this. Now, since we are grant funded, we aren't able to help with nonprofits. However, if a nonprofit comes to us, we have a ton of training, which is like on-demand training, virtual training, that we are allowed to refer them to that.
Right.
But we can't help them with marketing or anything like that if you're a nonprofit. So
Unfortunately,
right?
All right, we're going to address that here. We'll pop into the break here. Actually, you picked a question for me there. So we'll be right back after these messages. Yeah, I kind of want to touch on the irony of, here you support the community, but you don't support nonprofit. And I'm not saying, I'll word it differently in the thing, but it just seems ironic. But you are a business.
Yes.
Entity.
And
so we'll
because
cover
we're
that.
grant funded, nonprofits are tax exempt. So we're not able to, and I hate it because
we'll hold that to when we get back into it.
Ready to grow your business? TriLight and AEC are here to help with the power of the area's only 100% fiber network. We understand that every business is unique, which is why we offer customized solutions designed specifically for your needs. Enjoy lightning-fast gig speeds along with HDTV and reliable phone systems, all backed by our local friendly 24/7 customer service. Call 833-847-0824 or visit trilight.net to learn more.
Hey, college students, ready to ace your dorm or apartment setup? Dive into your local Habitat Restore. Uncover unique, budget-friendly furniture, decor, and essentials that make your space pop, all while supporting a great cause. From trendy finds to classic pieces, Habitat Restore has everything you need to create your perfect pad. Plus, you can even donate your items that you're no longer using. Stop by Habitat Restore today off South Jefferson Avenue in Cookeville now with extended hours. Shop smart, live well, and make a difference.
And now, back to Insurance Matchmaking with Matt Libby Insurance.
Well, welcome back. And if you listen to the first half of the show, I have Chadwick Mathis here from the Small Business Development Center, which works along with the Upper Cumberland Development District. Before the break, we were talking about how they're able to help small businesses with marketing or business planning, financial planning, setting up a business plan. Kind of the irony was most of this stuff is at no charge because they receive grants, but they're not able to deliver the same services to a nonprofit because this is a business development entity. You were kind of explaining. I was like, well, wait till we get done with the break and then kind of go into that.
So the fact that we're grant funded, we aren't able to, help nonprofits, unfortunately, which we can give them our training resources that we have. We just aren't able to help with marketing. Nonprofits are tax exempt. So due to the grants, some grants have certain stipulations, so we aren't able to assist them with the marketing side and all of that stuff. But we do have a ton of training, so if nonprofits do come to us and they have questions, we have on-demand training, virtual training. So we will,
people can access it, but it's just you can't formally support them, I guess would maybe a better way to say it.
Absolutely.
And you mentioned, because they're nonprofits, your grants is that maybe like some of your grants are coming from entities that would benefit from the business owners that you're assisting, maybe like a marketing service or like Google or something like that people are gonna, when they learn how to do Google and Facebook, things like that. And I know you can, maybe can't name names of provide your grants, but am I kind of on the right track there? Or?
I'm not too sure of the specifics of who funds, but it's mainly the federal government, and the SBA is a good way that we get funded as well. Then Middle Tennessee State University, there are Leeds Center in Murfreesboro.
Okay.
And then Tennessee Tech oversees the Cookeville campus here, and they will match funds.
Okay.
And that's how we're able to have the intern program with them, and they get a certain amount, I believe, for the intern programs and all of that. And it's really been a wonderful asset to small businesses. We have people that come in for startup. They don't know where to start. So that's where we help them.
Yeah.
So we can help them with a brand, with a logo, with a website.
Right.
We teach, we train on how to choose an entity and what would be the best entity for their business. Now, that being said, we can't give any financial advice, legal advice,
right? Yeah,
anything like that. So
I
had to
no,
make sure that was in there.
That happens to me a lot too, because it's and again, the government kind of puts us in that situation where we need to give some of that advice, but we always have to say, all right, I know this, and this may work like this, but remember, I'm not a CPA. I can't give you tax advisor. I'm not an investment counselor, so I can't do this. I don't have that. I don't hold that license. But especially with the ACA marketplace, the health insurance, it's not income, but your subsidy is based on your income. So there are tax filing ramifications there, and so I have to explain how the system works. Is that you get the tax credit based on your income. You estimate your income for the year that you're enrolling in, and usually it's next year, which I just always love. Is the government in their infinite wisdom says, take last year's tax return, not this year's, last year's, to estimate what your income will be next year. You could have had a job change, could have got a raise, maybe we're in business for yourself, now you're going working for somebody, or vice versa. The tax return to me doesn't really help. I need to kind of know what you're doing now, but then I also remind them, okay, we're estimating your income for next year. We don't have to be exact, but in the following year you have to file your income tax to reconcile what tax credit you receive. There's a form you get from the government called the 1095-A, and if you're using, using something like TurboTax or H&R Block, online thing, you need to put in that input into the worksheet, or you give it to your tax preparer to do that. But here's the thing: we can underestimate your we can go with this income here, and you'll pay very little for your health insurance right now. But if you grossly underestimate, right, you're going to probably have a tax bill. But if you overestimate, you get laid off, your hours change, maybe you base it on you're working a lot of overtime, and halfway through the year there's no more overtime. When you file your income tax, you're probably going to get a refund, or at least you're going to get a reduction on your tax bill. And then again, that's where I got to do but I'm not a tax preparer, so that's something you need to talk with your tax preparer. But I can give you that general idea.
We can refer people out for legal aid. We can refer people out to CPAs. We have a certain number that we have to send out. But with the Small Business Development Center, we have to do projections like that as well. As you know, you start a business, you want to have a business plan, a kind of a laid out plan of how you want your business to go, and then you have to do your projections. So you have to do a ton of market research, which is what I do a lot of as well. When we have small businesses come in, I try and help them with market research and how many businesses are in the area, what the competition is, and then they'll do the projections and the business plan themselves. We have the templates, and then we kind of will go over them and package them up. If they were looking to purchase real estate, or purchase equipment, we're there to help and just kind of package it up in a nice, neat format.
Right.
So the projections, I feel like a lot of small business owners, that's one of the things they have a lot of hang-ups in.
Yeah.
I don't want to say problems, but just hang-ups sometimes of finding that. And we have some databases that we can use that we pay for monthly or yearly, and so I can look up a lot of detailed financial information.
Yeah.
So I think that helps with our small businesses.
Yeah.
Well.
That's one of the things with my business, and I think I brought it up when we had that training last month, was I get about 40% of my income at the first of the year, because I earn commission from the insurance companies, I should say, not just health insurance, because I also do life insurance. But the ACA marketplace, also known as Obamacare, that open enrollment, is basically November through to December, actually November through January. But to get set up for January, it's November and December. And then the Medicare, which actually starts earlier, I have a couple weeks that I get to work Medicare before I start doing the under 65 health insurance. But October 15th to December 7th is that enrollment time. Well, everybody we enroll for is for their plan to start in January. And they just as I got in the business, the insurance companies used to pay in advance on the Medicare. It's like, oh, you signed somebody up, here's your advance, and then it kind of reconciled out over the year. And again, but it still would be a bulk. Now we get it all, but it comes as an advanced situation. So we get a bigger check in January. January and February are usually higher pay, and then it's like, okay, now I got to average out what's the other 10 months. So fortunately, I've been doing this now for 10 years, and I can kind of base off, okay, this is generally what my annual is. I can kind of depend on this much monthly as income, or as revenue, I should say. But it's like that money burning a hole in your pocket. It's like, oh, I got money, I can do all this advertising, I've got this money. It's like, no, I still need to budget it out.
Absolutely.
So that's the toughness on me. And then it's kind of like, okay, can I afford to hire another person? Can I afford to do this other advertising stream? Or can I afford to get this software program that hopefully, and I'm kind of dealing with that right now with some issues of what's going to be most cost affordable. I don't want to spend any more than I have to, but if I don't have these systems in place, I can't effectively do my business either. So it's what's that right mix, and that can be tough.
I think as a small business owner, a lot of small businesses have those slow times, right? And we do get small businesses coming in saying, hey, how can we get more business during this time? Well, sometimes it marketing can help, but sometimes it's people are on vacation during the summer, the kids are out of school. So yeah, it may slow down during the summer for these certain businesses, and then other businesses may be booming at that time, So we can help with budgeting too sometimes. We do have some actually good spreadsheets that we've that we don't mind handing out to our clients and helping them with the budget and trying to figure out all of those things with projections, profit and loss, and cash flow, and trying to make those things work. So
okay, and I think you kind of mentioned it before, but before I let the time get away from us, what kind of is that first step if someone's has a business or is looking to start, their own business? What's their first step to get your help?
So basically, all they would need to do is go to the tsbdc.org. There's a registration link. They would register through online, and it'll ask them a bunch of questions: what the name of the business is, what they're looking to do, what they're looking to get some counseling on. And then after they register, the next step is just setting up an appointment with Kelly or I, or if they're in other counties, we have other SBDCs. So if someone's listening from Chattanooga, there's a Chattanooga location.
Right.
So they'll be able to choose that as well. They'd make an appointment with us, and like I said, it's a Zoom. It's normally 30 minutes. And on that first call, I like to get the small business idea out in the open. I want to know what their thoughts are on it, what they're looking to make, where they're looking to go, all of the things.
Right.
So, and then after that, we both kind of just assess what we think they need to start off with. Some people are further along than others. Some have a business plan when they come to us. Some don't. So we just kind of assess through the first 30-minute Zoom, and then I send a follow-up email with what I think they need and what they can look over, and training, and so yeah, it's good.
Well, you mentioned the Chattanooga office, but there's the Biz Founder there in McMinnville that's tied to ours here. So you got one. Where do you kind of break between here and Chattanooga? Who would be serviced by the Chattanooga office versus serviced by the Cookeville office?
I don't actually have the counties, but if you go to tsbdc.org, it does have the centers, and then if you click on the centers there, it'll show you each county that they will represent.
Yeah.
So I think the Murfreesboro Center has 14 counties, and they're the most. They have the most counties due to the fact that we're under Upper Cumberland Development District.
Right.
We do offer more services to other counties than just the 9 that we're in.
Yeah.
Thanks to Upper Cumberland Development District, we're able to help out with that. But we all help each other out, center to center as well.
Sure.
We have international trade guys that work for us and women that work for us, and they help us with international trade, exporting. Other people we have other people that are great with franchise, helping with franchise.
Okay.
So we'll reach out to them if we need help and send our clients over there if need be.
Now, we always run into the definition of the small business, and it's like, where do you, and I know the IRS definition may not be the definition you use. Where kind of is a breaking point between somebody maybe bigger than you would necessarily work with?
So the SBA considers a small business less than $15 million.
Okay.
So, and we can work with any businesses up to that point.
Is that revenue or profit?
Well, so that's the question.
The question of the day.
So I believe it goes with net through the SBA. Don't quote me on that. I would have to double check, but we're willing to help most people, though. So,
all right. Well, thanks, Chadwick, for joining with me today. If the clock is telling me we have to wrap up, and he gave some email addresses, things like, addresses. Go to insurancematchmaking.com and you can contact me, and I can get whatever info you might not have been able to catch on there. So until next time, see you on the radio.
You've been listening to Insurance Matchmaking with Matt Libby, your path to health, life, and Medicare coverage with Matt Libby Insurance.